What we're talking about today is judgment. As plain as you can say it, don't be judgmental. As plain as I can say it. Remain humble. And I want to emphasize this and highlight this because I think that a lot of us that move judgmentally or... What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of LOFT Talk. I'm your host, Dareus White. And without further ado, let's get right into the episode. What we're talking about today is judgment. As plain as you can say it, don't be judgmental. That's plain as I can say it. Remain humble. And I want to emphasize this and highlight this because I think that a lot of us that move judgmentally or find ourselves judging people or turning our faces up at something or kind of having something to say about, for example, somebody shopping with generic brands and you buying name brand or whatever the case may be, little petty stuff like that. I think so many people are used to it and it's so normalized that like we forget that the only difference between you and that person is circumstance, right? The only difference between where they are and why they're shopping generically or whatever the situation may be that you're judging. The only difference between where they are and you are is circumstance. All of that can literally change in 5 minutes. That can all change overnight. Y'all can be y'all can switch positions in a matter of a day. The next time you see that person a few months later, you might mess around and be the one in a generic aisle and they the one looking at you. You get what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's what you buying? Circumstances can change in the blink of an eye. You get what I'm saying? You don't know what that person is going through. You don't know what hand they were dealt in life. You don't know if they just going through a rough patch. You have no idea. So to judge people is actually very backwards and asinine. I wanted to stress that to y'all because I think that we really I know there was a point in time where I was a kid or like a teenager, and I've always been smart enough to know not to actually like know what's wrong, like the bad thing about judging people. I knew what was wrong with it, but there's this bougie side of me, especially as a kid, where it's like, I'm not. Why you get that? Like, why you buy that kind? You know what I'm saying? Where deep down I wasn't really like trying to stand above anybody. It's just that a lot of times it's like, let's not do that. Let's do this instead, right? But yeah, and I'm not saying this as if I'm a person that's never judged somebody or passed judgment or whatever the case may be. I'm guilty of it as well. But I would hope that we keep at the forefront of our minds the fact that nobody is above anybody when it comes to social hierarchy, economic hierarchy, or whatever the case may be, or class, like classism and things of that nature. Classism is so crazy because of that. Classism is crazy because the literal difference between me and you, or my situation and your situation, is circumstance. And yes, you may have worked hard to where you got to where you are. Yes, I may have worked hard to get where I am, or maybe I caused certain problems that caused me to be at rock bottom. Whatever the case may be, the only difference is circumstance. And life comes with unpredictable things that we can't see coming that could change our lives overnight. So you may be filthy rich right now, but you never know. You know what I'm saying? You may be wealthy and be able to buy all the name brand stuff out of the grocery store right now, but you don't know what can happen by the time that clock strike 12 tonight that can make your life different tomorrow. You get what I'm saying? God forbid any of that does happen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. Like, life can throw wrenches in your plans real quick. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people whose lives have flipped upside down. Some people were happily married and life was great, and the wife or the husband dropped dead suddenly, and now all these expenses done swept their bank accounts clean, and now they live in the lifestyle they never thought that they would live, trying to get back on their feet. You know what I'm saying? Like, you never know. You never know what people are going through. You never know what can happen. So to be classist and to shade somebody or stand above them or act like you're better than them because you make a certain amount of money and they don't, when that could, like I said, switch overnight. They could mess around and be your boss. You get what I'm saying? They can mess around and, you never know where people are going in life. You never, and that's another thing. You never know when you may need, and I'm not saying only treat people nice because you may need them one day, but you never know. It's a fact of life. You never know where people are going in life. You never know if you'll cross paths with somebody again. So don't judge somebody, especially not blatantly to their face, and be rude or be classist pretty much to somebody, because you never know where they'll be. You might mess around and want to buy some property one day that you really need for this project, or you really want to get something done for some reason, and they hold the keys to what it is that you need. You get what I'm saying? It's a building that you need to buy as a real estate as a real estate investor one day, and they own the building and they don't want to sell it to you now because of how you made them feel, how you judged them years before, right? The example of judgment going wrong would be Jackie Harris. She told a story talking to Cheryl Lee Ralph about how Kenya Barris, shout out to the home team CAU. Kenya Barris was an intern or an assistant, something of some sort that wasn't regarded as like high level or whatever in a production that Jackie Harris was in, right? And she was rude to him because she admittedly seen him as like less than, right? Years later, Kenya Barris is Kenya Barris, writer, producer, and Jackie Harris is, still Jackie Harris, but Kenya Barris has the green light and the power to give Jackie Harris a job, hire her, or, she can go out for one of his movies and he not hire her, or audition to be one of his shows and he intentionally tell them not to let her into the audition or not hire her because it's his show. And he remembers that, and he mess around and remembers that she was rude prior to, years ago, right? And that's an example of treating everybody with respect and not judging people. And she judged him. She judged him because he didn't seem to have a position as important as hers on set. He didn't seem to be as important, right? So she judged him and shat on him. She judged him and treated him terribly, and he remembered that, right? He's faced with the pretty much feeling shitty, and who knows what blessings she could have blocked herself from. Who knows if he would have put her in something, or maybe she had the opportunity to be in something and he blocked her out of it. You know what I'm saying? Not saying Kenya Barris would do that. I don't know if he would or not, but you never know when you'll cross paths with people again, or how you'll cross paths with them, or what they may have that you may need one day, or that you may desire. You get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying make your life choices on not judging people and treating people nice based off of what they may be able to do for you one day, but just treat people right. You know what I'm saying? Don't pass judgment on people. And yeah, we all form opinions on people, and it's not to say you can't have your opinion on like, oh, I like name brand stuff because of the quality of it, and I don't like generic stuff, so why can't I feel that way? It's not what I'm saying at all. You can definitely have your preference and your opinion, but to make somebody feel bad or to affect somebody negatively with that preference or opinion is the part that's the problem, right? But that's all I wanted to discuss with y'all today. Thanks for tuning into another episode of Loft Talk. I'm Dareus White. Like I said, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you want to see more episodes. I post 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, right here on this channel. And I also have the audio version of the podcast where it's just the podcast. That's on all streaming platforms, and it's in the description box below. Follow me on my social media accounts. They will be in the description box below as well. If you got anything out of this video, or it sparked a thought, or if it was simply just entertaining, go ahead and hit the like button and share it. And if you agree with what I said or disagree, or you have some thoughts, leave them in the comment section below. And until next episode, peace.